Hello, my name is Mr. Chancellor. I'm the Science Department Chair for Peach County High School, and I wanted to provide all of the parents out there with sort of an introduction of how Google Classroom may be used within each of your child's classrooms for each one of their teacher, to kind of give you an insight of how you can get plugged in so you know what is going on in your child's classroom and how teachers may utilize some of the assignments within their courses and how students can either submit their work or how the resources that are available to them, how you and the child can access them at home whenever you're trying to help your child prepare and maintain good grades throughout their courses. So whenever a student is enrolled into their 4 courses for the semester, your teacher may or may not utilize Google Classroom. One of the things that is good, that is a good tool for your child to do at the start of each semester is go ahead and unenroll from any courses that they were previously enrolled in from the last school year. That can be done either by the teacher. The teacher can unenroll those students, or the student themselves has the ability to unenroll from older classes. If that needs to happen, a child can easily just go into, for instance, I have some examples right here that we can go, they can click on the 3 dots and they can click on leave class, and that will delete that class from their list of classes that you see on the screen. So I highly recommend that you do that. Teachers have the ability to add in parents as a linked guardian or parent to their child's account. So I'm going to show you kind of what that looks like and how the parent gets information about Google Classroom. So I'm going to go into my fall biology class, and I'll kind of show you later how I outline my biology and chemistry class and the differences between both. But one of the ways that we can communicate with parents in this is by adding you as a parent or guardian. And the way that we do that is if I go to my people page here on the screen, I have my students that I have enrolled in my account or in my Google Classroom, and then I have the option to add guardian's information or an email address in here. Now I can't show you the students' information because of privacy purposes, but you can see icons for each of the students, and then in the column right here would be the linked parent email. Whenever I link a parent's email to it, they will get an email sent to them giving them the option to accept the invitation into Google Classroom. If they do accept it, on my screen as the teacher, it'll show an active email on file next to the student's account for the parent or guardian. If not, it'll say invited next to it, and that just means that the parent has either not seen the email or chose not to accept the invitation. So I do highly recommend that you reach out to your teachers and get them to add you as a parent or guardian to their account. And I'll show you kind of what you will get from your students' Google Classroom if you do that. So I'm going to use my child as an example for what you can see. Right here, you can see that this is back from August. I just have one pulled up as an example. You can choose to get either weekly, bi-weekly, or daily summaries for your child's Google Classrooms once you're enrolled in there. And you can see for all of the classes, it'll show what's upcoming, what's due for that class, and any new material that's posted. And like I said, you can change the settings to either get these daily, weekly, or bi-weekly, I believe. So whenever you go to a class, let me go back to what my classroom looks like. Teachers have the ability to post all kinds of different material within Google Classroom. They can post like reading material, digital copies of worksheets maybe that they're doing in class. They can post assignments that the students can actually type into They can post quizzes or tests in there. They can post questions that students can reply to for all kinds of different ways. And I'll show you some sort of things that teachers can do. My class may be different from another teacher's class, but generally they all have different, they all have the same icons present. If you look at these icons right here, like for concept 17 that I have highlighted right here, if you notice it looks kind of like a book with a bookmark in it. If those icons are right there, that's just resource material, things that the teacher and the student and the parent can all just read and click and access. There's not an actual assignment tied to it. So if I click on it, on mine for example, I have what this concept is about, the things that the child needs to be doing in class, and then I have digital copies of the handouts that they're getting in my class, and then I can also add in any YouTube videos to reinforce the material and whatnot. But there is no grade or assignment linked to this particular thing in my Google Classroom. But if I go, for instance, back to my classroom and you see something that's got this clipboard right here. Now this is a quiz that my students would be taking in class, and I got it marked as an assessment, so the kids would actually click on it and they would complete this on their Chromebook in class or at home if the teacher gives students permission to do that. Those are the two main ones. Anything that's going to have a clipboard next to it is an assignment that the teacher has given to the student to complete. And the good thing about this is students can actually go to this link right here for Google Calendar, and they can see when all of their assignments that teachers have posted in all of their Google Classrooms in a month-by-month or week-by-week setup, however they want to see their Google Calendar. Another way that teachers can utilize Google Classroom, I'm going to swap over to my chemistry page real quick so you can see. Another way that I mentioned that student or teachers can post assignments is by icons that look like this. It's a question. So as an example, for my chemistry class, they're having to research a substance and provide it's sort of like a college discussion post. They provide information and they can respond to their peers' responses as well. So this is another assignment that can be done within Google Classroom. The teacher can choose to make it a graded assignment or not. But that's sort of what they can do. Now, within a class, like for instance, in my chemistry class as well, one of the assignments that's not a quiz or a test is my chemistry kids are writing a research paper. And so they can see this. This is an assignment that I have assigned. All these are assignments. And you can see the due dates that are marked here next to them of when each part of it is due. But a student can click on this and they can view the instructions, and whenever they get ready to submit on their icon, when they click on it, it'll look very similar to this, but over here in this part, it'll give them the option where they can submit the actual assignment. In here, they can either create their own and then upload it, or they can use like Google Docs or Google Sheets or whatever is required by the teacher, and then they would upload it into or link it into this assignment, and then it has a button over here where the student can then submit the assignment to the teacher. The teacher does have the ability to set a due date for it. They can also choose to make it whether it's a graded assignment or not. They can even, teachers have the option to close the assignment after the due date has passed. So if, for instance, this is due on December the 27th, 12/25, if the teacher wanted to, they could check a box and say after September 25th at 12, beginning at 12/26, the student can no longer submit an assignment for whatever it may be. So just make sure that students are fully aware that they're checking the due dates for these. I'm sure that the teacher is also sending out remind messages about these that are being due, and you will also get these due dates and times in your parent email if you choose to enroll yourself into that Google Classroom. Now, if you want to see exactly what your student sees whenever they log into Google Classroom. Another way that you can get more involved for that is ask the teacher if they can just add you as a student into the Google Classroom, and you can see everything that the student sees exactly as they see it. So instead of you just getting the daily summaries of when things are due in which particular class, you would actually see all of this information right here as it's posted, just like if you were a student. Um, you just wouldn't be submitting your assignments and stuff like that, like your child would be. But that's kind of the basics of how Google Classroom works. I'll show you some other ones. Like here is an environmental science class. Whenever I used to teach environmental science, you can see that I have mine laid out differently than others. I have former teachers available right here, and they have it set up in terms of units, and you can see that they have material and quizzes and all different assignments set out through their entire curriculum. Again, each teacher has the ability to set it up as they want to. Just know that the difference between the icons is this is a resource, these are assignments or quizzes or whatever it has to be doing, and then they have the option for questions that they can pose to that the students can answer and respond to the teacher. So I hope this is a good tool that you can use to help you learn a little bit more about Google Classroom. If you have any questions at all, you can certainly reach out to me via email. My email is dchancellor at peachschools.org. That's dchancellor at peachschools.org, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have about Google Classroom and how it works. Thank you.